Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is Aquascaping on the Fly, Living Art Creations, and I'm Anthony, your host and your content creator. Today, we are continuing our series of the Trinity Series, which is a full-on aquascaping tutorial. We have started with the studio build-out, then we went to why are we using this kind of tank, why did I choose this lighting, how I found my hardscapes in nature, the substrate we did on the last episode, and then also I did a follow-up substrate to where I added just a little more soil to get the level where I want, because these three tanks are going to be side by side on this shelf. So we're creating three tanks, but one vision. So I wanted cohesion and balance between all three of them. Today we're going to start in with actually the planting. And I have an order that's coming in. I thought it was going to arrive today, but it looks like maybe it's going to be tomorrow. So I'm going to go with the plants that I've already started. Now, one of the most popular videos on my channel has been growing dwarf hairgrass and trying to grow aquatic plants as well as my terrarium plants to save money. Here's a tub that I have some Java fern in. It's switched up 3 times since I've had it because it was not growing well at any of the mediums that I tried. I finally went back to just water. And this is treated water. This is water that's been treated. It's got fertilizer in it, as well as it's been dechlorinated, and it has an algae treatment in it. Because my tub that I've been growing the dwarf hairgrass, which is the popular video, I normally just put the water in and it just sits there for at least 2 weeks. And so, of course, it does get algae breaks, and so I've been treating it. But it's fertilized as well. But the cool thing is that the plants are doing really well in there. So the order of plants that I purchased well more than a month ago, some of them died immediately because I did not put them in a water container. I was trying to grow them sitting in water, but not immersed in water to where their leaves could take in the oxygen completely. And I'm guessing that some of the plants were grown immersed and they just fell apart. They just melted. So a lot of them melted. Some of them I can't even recognize right now. And they're kind of tiny. And then I bought a couple of 2 or 3 different varieties that were on Amazon, where you just buy the one little plant for a very inexpensive price. And just to try and see what I could grow already set up. So I'm kind of excited to show you the plants that I've got. So let me take the camera, give you a close-up, because what we've got in here is we've got 3 versions of Java fern, and then we've got a Nubius Nana Golden. I like the golden because it has a much lighter color than most of the plants that we see. And I am not quite sure yet where it's going to go. It may go in Turtle in Motion. The Turtle in Motion is going to have a full-on carpet of dwarf hairgrass. So I'm not sure if it's going to go in there because I don't want green on green. I really want to create some diversity. Some of it may go here off, if you can still see it in the camera shot, into bird on a wire. I know that's where I want the majority of it. That's why I built a sloped hill there. Or I have one other that I'm going to show you that's been doing really well as well. So I'm kind of trying to place it in my mind where I'm going to put these little spots of plants that I have a lot of, and where I'm going to put this one, because this one plant here, the golden, is one of the ones that takes medium light. All the other ones go medium to high. Now maybe this one can go high as well, because I have another Nana that is the white, where the leaves, not really white, but it's got specks of white in it. And it can take highlighting to achieve that color. And then I have a red plant that needs highlighting to achieve the red. So let me get the camera down here to where you guys can see it. And I'll get my cheat sheet on my plants so that I'll know exactly what we're talking about when I get. Okay, so let me get, yeah, this will work. The one that I definitely want to show you, okay, this back here is water sprite. I think I paid $17 and I got, I think it was just like 2 sprigs or stems on Amazon. And I read online, if you cut them, which is what I did, and then it'll just, grow like, it'll grow upright. It grows upright. But look, there's little sprigs everywhere. So now I can plant all these inside the aquarium. I love the texture of it. I think it'll look really pretty underwater. So that's one that I did purchase, and you can tell it's the roots are in, and this is just a tiny bit of substrate in there. It's just one little layer. So this has been doing very well. I tried growing this without substrate, just in water. Horrible. I thought I was going to lose it all, but it was really, really bad. One that I'm really excited about is, I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, I know it. It's Alternanthera Rosenervig mini. Okay, enough of that. It's this plant right here. This I started with, I think it was 3, and it's gone crazy. It's here and here. A little baby's one there. Here, it's all over the place. So this one, I know I want it planted on the slope of Bird on a Wire. I think it'll be beautiful as a slope plant, and it'll give some really intense color to the build itself. So that one I know for sure is where I want to put it. Now, another one that I bought off Amazon was the Anubias Nana Petite in the white. And that one is right here. And it has already, even though it's not big, it was one little tiny thing of 3 plants. It's already, the rhizome has already sent off little shoots, and here's one of them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 of them right now. This one, oh my God, look at that. That one's amazing. And you can tell, look at it just looks amazing. I had purchased this one to go into Turtle in Motion. There's a little gap between the turtle and the rock, and I thought, oh, it'd be a great place to put this plant because it's white and green, and the foreground is going to be all green. So I still may put that one there, because remember, when we have what we call the rhizome, which is, I don't have my gloves on, but it's kind of got roots all around it. But there's a rhizome in there that it looks like a thicker root, and you can put it in the water, but you don't bury it. So it doesn't go in your substrate. It needs to be attached to a rock or to a woodscape, or, if it's wedged in somewhere, as long as it's not buried in the substrate. Where like the Rosa, look, she's got nice long, that tells you stem. Look at those roots. Those are nice long roots. Same thing with this one, nice long roots. So those are the ones that you plant in your substrate deep enough, and then they send off normally little runners, or you cut the stem back when you don't want it to grow as tall, and then you just plant it right back in there with the rest of the plant. So that's how you get that thick, full look, and that's how we're going to achieve it. We're going to plant these, and we're going to wait for them to get bigger, and then we'll chop them down and then plant more of them so that we get a full look. That's the whole point, is where we're trying to save money on here. The Nanas, or the Anubias, they'll do the same thing. It's just their little rhizomes put off these other little baby plants, and you just kind of have to pull them out, or they'll all kind of like still grow together. Now, the ones that I don't know, there's a bunch of little plants from here all the way around on this side that I don't know what they are. They are growing. Not everything died, so I was excited about that. But you can tell, and then I can't even remember. I got to try and figure out what this one is. This one's on oh, here we go. Here's a rhizome right there. See that? That's a rhizome. It's got roots coming off of it. You can glue the rhizome part to wood or a rock. You just don't want to mess with the roots that are coming off of there, and they don't like soil. So there's a perfect example. I can probably pull up. Now, here's a little clue. It's changing color a little bit. So this may be something that has a blush color. And then here's one of the larger ones that did not die, that I'll have to look and see. I think it's a Boos. I don't know which one. Oh, I know it's horrible. And then here's another one with a rhizome, and it has a yellow on purpose leaf on it. So I know I could probably still look that one up. And I think this is the same thing. So there's some things that we have that we can play with. Some of them are super, super, super tiny. And I have to look in here really good. But here's the big deal. Here's our carpet. This is our dwarf hairgrass. It sends off these little runners, and then it starts new plants. So I just confirmed again that the dwarf hairgrass, we're going to plant it an inch apart. Rosa here, we're going to plant her 2 inches apart because she needs more room to get her shape that she's going to have whenever she grows. The water sprite, I'll have to pull it up again. I can't remember how far apart it gets planted. But the first thing I think I want to start with is either the Rosa or the dwarf hairgrass, just to see how far I get. So I'm going to water the substrate down, I'm going to spray it down, and then we'll start planting. But first, I want to go over water parameters and what you would need to be doing if you're setting up your very first tank. Now, I'm kind of lucky. Where I am, my water parameters aren't that out of line for being able to plant something. My pH normally is 7.5. So I'm dosing my water. I keep 5 gallons of water because the same water that goes in this tub you're looking at also goes into all my terrariums that I build, and then it goes into any of the terrariums that have waterfalls, and it's also the water I use to water all of my terrarium plants that I'm keeping. So I'm using one type of water for everything. It just makes it so much easier for me because I'm such a small space. And it's being dosed with liquid fertilizer. And because I want to show you exactly what I'm using, because of this little tub here does get algae, I'm dosing it with the algae fix. Here is my fertilizer, Leaf Zone. I've been using that for everything. Even when I spray my plants down, they're still getting that on there. And then here's the dechlorinator. I'm using it anyway, so this is what you would use if you're going to use the API products. I use them because I've watched other videos where people are exclusively using them, and they look like they have a really good outcome. And plus, it's not a budget-breaking entity like some of them can be. I mean, some of them can get very expensive. So I'm using the API, and I'm going across the board. Remember, if you watched the video where we put the substrate in, I was using the root tabs. That's an API product. And so the substrate here, well, you can't see it, but the substrate like this one here, this has root tabs in the bottom of it, but very little. I didn't put that much in there. But the tanks all have it underneath their substrate. So the point is, the ones that are stem plants, or whatever we plant that's going to go into the substrate, will have some fertilizer down there on the bottom for their roots to absorb. And then at the same time, it goes into the water quality so that the ones that are feeding or the rhizome plants can take it directly in from the water that we're gaining. So to me, it's one less thing I have to worry about. I don't have to worry about doing the fertilizer kind of thing. But I do want to do a water test to give you guys an idea. This is what you do. And then we'll get started with the planting. So hang out. Okay, we're ready. Now, there was 2 I wanted to show off of the API that we have just in case. This is the API Clear. This is what everyone uses to get their tanks clear when they turn cloudy. And quick start. If we were going to be putting livestock in this right away, this is what you would use. I bought it thinking I was going to do that, but now I know I'm not going to do that because I want to wait and see how my plants are growing. But I do have those 2 products as well. And then this is, of course, the test kit. To me, it's easier, but I have to read the directions because I've only done this once before. But I've got my, here, set this up. There you go. I've got my bowl of water here. Here's the little testers that we use. And my syringe that I don't have to go back and forth to the sink. That's what I did the last time. And it was just a pain in the boo-ha. All right, so the pH test, we'll do that one first. Fill a clean test tube with 5 milliliters of water to be tested to the line on the tube. So there is a little mark on here that tells you that's 5 milliliters. So you just fill the water up to that point from your tap. And then add 3 drops of the pH test solution. So when you pick the bottle up, it tells you right there, add 3 drops. So it makes it super easy. So let's do that. Now, how long do we have to let it sit? Several times mixed solution. Read the test results by comparing the color. It does not say a minimum time. It just needs to shake it. All right. So I went too far. And I went too under. Okay. This is Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Then this one should be just right. And it is. All right. And so why are we testing the pH? Because this tells you how acidic that your water is. And when you are looking at putting any plants in your aquascape and any livestock after that, all of them are going to have a pH level attached to them as to what they prefer. It's going to be a pH, and it's also going to be other conditions that we test for, and then also temperature. So temperature is a big thing for me because I don't want to put a heater in here. So I'll test it again. It's kind of messy on the side. Okay, but anyway, 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that doesn't matter. We'll go like this. And our color chart is on the back. What I suspected, I'm right there at it. This is the color chart, and I'm a little bit lighter. I'm not that light, that's more green, but I'm not any darker, and that's 7.6 for pH. So I'm right there at the baseline. I'm probably at a 7.5 because my water quality that comes out of my tap from the city tests their water, and I pull their test up, and they're always no higher than a 7.5. So we're good to go on the fact that we really legit, for the shrimp that I want to put in here, I think we're fine. Some of the plants go down to like a 7, but I think the difference between a 7 and a 7.5 is probably not that much. But anyway, that's how we do the first test. And I forgot to bring a bowl to, well, I really don't need a bowl. I just need to rinse it out. So since our pH wasn't high, you don't need to use this bottle. Now you would if your pH was high, but we're okay. Now, let's move on to ammonia. And there's directions on here for every single one of them. Well, you test for ammonia because fish continually release ammonia directly into the aquarium. So testing for the presence of toxic ammonia is essential. Okay. It looks like we're at 0.50 for ammonia. And my control reading the last time, oh, that's what it was the last time. It was 0.50. I had a 7.6 pH. Ammonia was 0.50. Nitrate 2 and nitrate 3. Okay, so far, we're getting the exact same readings. The pH was 7.6 in 2024 when I checked it. Same today. 0.50 for ammonia. Nitrate 2 is 0, and it looks like nitrate 3 is also going to be 0. It's got a couple more minutes on it, on the timer for it, but I think it's going to be fine. But then I also want to do a baseline reading on the water that we're going to be putting into, actually the water that's been treated. Yes, nitrate 3 comes in at 0, the lightest color right there. So now I'm going to set up the water that I use to water everything with, and we're going to test that one. Okay, so when I read about the Rosa plant here, it talked about how it would grow off of the stem. There's a stem and it's got 2 sets of roots on it. Probably should have gloves on. Yes, there's a set of roots. Here's a set of roots. So guess what? We are going to separate these 2. Okay. And I'm putting some in a little bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did sanitize my little cutters. Here's 5 in a bowl. And this is what I'm thinking. All right, so I know you can't see it right now. I'm going to focus on this. But I want some in the angled slope of bird on a wire. And I want a little cluster in turtle in motion. Not many, maybe just 3. And let's see how far we can take this little plant. So I think what I need is a couple more bowls. That way I'll have an equal number. So I can determine, so I don't run out of something as I'm, getting caught up in the planting. By the way, the planting is making me very nervous. Because the last time I tried to deal with plants, you saw that some of them did not like what I had done. So I don't want that to happen again. I want these to really do a good, nice job thriving. So all I'm doing is I am shaking them out in the water. I am inspecting them to make sure that there's no other little plant on them that we can take advantage of and propagate right now. Let's try to find some of them. Oh, okay, here's one that has propagated, but I don't think it has enough roots to pull it apart. I don't want to risk it. But yeah, it's got 2 on it. I'm not gonna risk harming the plant. You know what? I really need a rinse bowl and a bowl to put them in. Let's do this. Perfect. Now, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. Perfect. Let's do that. Because these were honestly, remember these were in water that has had algae. And these came from soil. So there is remnants of sphagnum moss attached to them. Okay, here we go, get rid of this. Oh, this is so much easier to see them. Okay, no, there's no way to get that one off. Something on that one. That one's got some algae all over it. We're just going to let that go, though. Algae or something that was in with the plant in its soil that it was in. Now, also it said on the websites that cut off the longer roots, and that will also stimulate new growth. So we'll do that. We're going to do that too. Trying to look for the, and by the way, if you can't see it here on the video, and I know it's because it's hard, but these have some incredible little veins in the leaves. I mean, it's really pretty. And do just that. Do a little snip. Seems harsh and cruel, but I grew up on a farm, and I know that always doing something like this helps your plants in the long run. Okay, so that's 5 in this one. Oh, I'm gonna have to check these all again. Yeah, we need to trim their roots. Oh, there's another good rhizome there. Yeah. There's no plant on it yet, but it's branching out. Maybe that one's already all right. I need to cut that one. Here's one that has a tremendous root system and a rhizome. I always love dealing with plants. When I was in junior high, there is some hair grass attached to that one. I did a science project on growing plants, like with no sun, no water. Like I did a control of 2 plants that were just alike. One got sun, one didn't get sun, another 2, water, little water, and so on, or nutrients or fertilizer. And that was so much fun. And I won because it was so different. Okay, there's 5 in each bowl, but we know in this tank on the end, we will need more than 5. And do we want to put any in prayer hands? Might be nice to have a little grouping of at least 3. I mean, we've got it. We might as well use it. And we know we're going to need, I think I'll just keep, what's that? Ooh, that's a goose, a baby goose. You go back in there. So let's keep just a few. I'll take these bigger ones. There's a tiny, tiny one. This looks like 2. I think that is 2. All right, so if I leave... Oh, wow. Got a massive root structure on that one. That one needs to be planted. Getting too big. All right, so here's a tiny, tiny one. There's another little one. I think I'll just keep... That's got a good root structure. Oh, wow, that one's got to be planted. It's got a massive root structure. So I'll take... I can separate one of these. I will use it as the third. So right now, I could do 1, 2, 3 in turtle. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this one. Okay, so that's my little set. Here's 6. Here's 7. So here's 3 by itself that can go in turtle. The good news about doing it like this, you can see how messy these plants get on their own without having any fish in there. They are messy. Okay, where was the one? There it is. There's the second shoot, but I am so scared to cut that. Oh, but I'm going to do it. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Make me nervous. Wow. A massive amount of roots for that new little section, but it will grow. Complete faith. There's another one. You can see this, how they get roots up to the stem, and that's where normally you would cut these off. But because we're new, I've lost count of how many I'm going to have in there. Wow, those are very long roots. I wonder if I put the roots in the old water where they were growing, would they do anything? All right, here's one I am going to cut. Had a definite break in its root system. You know, I might try that. I could put the roots back into here, and if things grow out, then we'll know, hey, that works. Okay, so this gives me 2. Maybe that's all I want for the last tank. Just 2. Here's another one. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do it. There's another one. Mm. Hey, here are two definite splits. Oh. I'm just going to say a prayer that all these grow because I love how they look. Color. Oh, wait a minute. I think that was. Oh, no, it's not. That's a split. Mm-hmm. This. Yeah, that one. That. What was that? I think that's just a root. Okay. All right. This will eventually go back in. Well, yeah. This one is 1, 2. And that one is 3. I've lost count on this one, but it needs more water. All right, oh my gosh. Part that's gonna make me nervous. Let's get you guys set up on this side, and maybe I won't be in your way. Okay, so what do we have to do? We need to at least spray our substrate down. I want to know, do I have to keep, did I mess anything up if I just take you out? I have to remember where I want that in there. Okay. Just have to remember that it goes lodged right there, and let's go to town. Oh, look at the color. That's what I love about these rocks. Now, I just want it, I think, in between the rocks and around. So we're not going, I would like it to encircle the rocks like a border, but go no further than this, I think. And remember, this is the same water that they're sitting in right now. And I might go ahead. Gonna make it heavy, but okay. And let me see if I can fix the moisture. without messing up my substrate. I didn't know how I was going to like the backdrop. I really like it because it's not just one solid opaque white. It's got a little grade in it, like a little, and what was odd is when I ordered it, had lots of reviews, lots of good reviews. And then when I went back in to pull it up for the other video for you guys, it said frequently returned. I was like, what? I never order anything that says frequently returned, ever, ever, ever. So I don't know what happened since then and now, but frequently returned is not something I like. Because I do pay attention to reviews like crazy. All right, so we put it in far enough into the substrate to where the roots are covered. We've already cut the root tips off. So quit procrastinating and let's just put a plant in. That's the thing. Let's just do it. Or else it gets too scary. Now my fear is that I'm going to run out before we get anywhere near the planting I want to have done. So I am going to give them a little check over. Okay, so this one's a large plant. And, okay, can we see everything? Okay. Okay, we broke the ice. Let's just go with it. Just do it. All right, here's one that has roots all along its spine, but I am not going to cut that one back anymore. I think this is what I'm, okay, so it did say 2 inches of space. Now, I don't have 2 inches of space everywhere because we're going between these cracks. So I'm just hoping that the plant will do well enough that it just kind of like does its thing. Okay, the roots are wanting to come out of this one. I hope it'll just do its thing and just kind of like boof, poof, and poof. You know what I mean? Here's another one all along the little stem area. I wonder if I'm supposed to be pulling off the leaves that are going to go in it or underneath it. Probably. Yeah, they're going to have to start turning. Oh, okay. Can you guys see that? Look at that adorable texture on those leaves. It is amazing. That's why I fell in love with this. And despite my best interest, this one really grew. Maybe put that one. Maybe that's what I should do. Just wherever we're going to put them, it just kind of goes in the middle of where I want them. Because there's not like another one right there. Some of them are going to go, you know, you're not going to be able to see them for a while. That's a nice little one. Having a little trouble with the roots sticking. Oh, here's one. Maybe I should skip it. It's just the root itself. And I don't know. Did I cut that off? I swear I cut every one of them off, but that one's kind of long. Go ahead and cut that one off right here. Let's put you right there. I think I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe I need to be doing that. Okay, that was a little bit easier. The little soil moves a lot, so I guess you just got to play with it. All right, let's try this one the same. Okay. While we're doing this, I really want to say thank you to the people that are subscribing and liking and leaving comments. My channel is not is just turned 4 months old, so it's a baby channel. I'm having haven't even found my audience out there yet. Okay, that one's not going in, but it helps the YouTube algorithm with the subscribers and the ones who like and comment, because it shows that we're really and truly building a community, which is what I want. I want people, being able to talk about this and your successes, your failures. The reason why I'm doing this series is because I wanted to get into the hobby, but I saw that budget was my biggest issue right away. And I thought, well, why can't we do one based on DIY, which is all my channel is all about DIY, and budget. And so I've had a blast doing it. So the whole goal is to see if I can do this for $100. Now I know I can't on all 3 of these tanks. It's not possible because of the plants that I want to put in it. But for the basics, yes, it can be done. Okay, now I just need to know how far. Okay, guess what? I've been filming for so long that my mics are dead. The battery on the camera went out, and I've had to resort to plugging everything in. So let's see how this goes. I don't know how much audio I lost, but if I have to, I could do a voiceover. Okay. Let's get back on track. Here's another one of those runners. Which, by the way, the runners happened pretty quickly, like within the first 6 weeks. My problem was I just did not put enough substrate in here for them. Okay, I'm going to start cutting them apart. That's easier than trying to keep them attached. They also will just pull right out from the main plant if it has runners. It's an easy little pull. It needs to go all in this little front section. So for those of you who are paying attention to the videos, this was $17 for this. I got a online special. It was a 3-pack for $17. It was what they called an unknown vendor. So there was no like, you know, channel sponsor or anything like that. Just said unknown. And I risked it because it was $17. It goes in so much easier. So tips and tricks. There you go. Tip and trick already. And this substrate was so thin, and I didn't rinse it. And you could see when you don't rinse it, what happens, it's got dust all over it. Here's some more water sprites. We're gonna put it over here with the rest of the water sprite. I think dwarf hairgrass as a carpet has a really pretty look. I think it actually kind of really does mimic grass, which is why that I wanted to feature it in the tanks, because Turtle in Motion, the center tank, is supposed to be, it looks like the turtle's coming down to feed on the grass. So the whole point of it was to have, you know, not moss or something like that in there that didn't look lifelike. I needed a grass that made it look like my turtle was real. Add some realism to the turtle structure. Now, some of this is going to get trampled when I put the wood back in there. So we'll just have to deal with that, because I know it has to go squished down. So some of this is going to get messed up. I'm hoping after they acclimate that these runners that I'm just kind of pushing down in there will just continue to send their little cells off, untangle themselves. Okay, we have our two barriers coming together. Rosa with hairgrass, right there. I mean, I'm putting it way closer than it says. It's like a ½ inch, and let's put a section right up here. Okay, so I have some left to put back into the other one. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, just a few pieces. But I'll put you guys on hold for a second, because you've seen me plant the dwarf hairgrass now. Okay, so we are now ready to plant the Rosavig that we've done in Bird on a Wire. I did skip Turtle in Motion, and I'm going to see if I want the rest of it all to go into prayer hands. Or, as I discovered on the video when I was setting the substrate up, it looks like those could really be two male walruses fighting each other. It's like their mouths are open and they're fighting. This one has 1, 2, 3. I thought, and that one has 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I've already placed some water in the base. Now we're not doing hairgrass in this one. And I had thought the Rosa in this one would be a great little contrast right here. In the corner. Better leave that open. Remember what I said about if there's not as much water in there? Same thing. So much easier when there is not as much water. Okay, well here's 3 of them in one little area, one little cluster right there. Here's that little sprout. God, it would be kind of cute right there in front. Why not? Oh, it's so much harder. Okay, hang on. Now guys, I am not overthinking this. I'm just going with an instinct. Could be completely wrong. It may be wrong. It may turn out looking horrible, but it'll be my horrible. I will stand by it. Okay. The one thing I like, it really is pretty playing off of the wood, and I wonder if I have those too close to the wood. I'm thinking I do. Just bring them out one a little bit more. Okay. Matter of fact, that one here, that one here, that one in the corner. Okay. All right, so we have those planted. I don't think there's anything, well, okay. I do have the Nana Golden, but I have to put them on something, and or I could put them in here. I want to put the white. Ooh, the white, yes. I think I'm going to put the white ones in here. I could put the gold ones literally here and in here. That could be kind of cool. Because they can be just kind of put in. I could actually even put them down in here. I think that would also be kind of cool, and it's a much lighter. And then we'll worry about if I want to add. I do have some Christmas moss I thought about putting in this one because it doesn't have a carpet in it. And I thought it's going to need some greenery in the foreground, although it's going to have Valsneria leopard here, and it may go all the way through this backside because it does grow fast, and I may just cut it and just keep adding it to the back. And then it's got this big structure here, which if we put the goldens in the spaces, those could work. The white in here, and if I can ever get my Java ferns to look decent, I could put Java ferns right in the middle, which would give us a nice burst of greenery. So let me work on opening up the goldens to see how much I have to play with, and if there's another place I'm going to be able to put them, or if it's just in this tank. Because I did order 5 of the pots for the tank. So I was thinking this one would be heavy in it because everything is dark. So it's dark wood, darker rock. Where the other ones have either the quartz in them, or it has the Turtle in Motion has the much lighter colored rocks. That's why I got the Goldens for this one specifically. So let me kind of prep them and see how much I have. Okay, Scapers, we're gonna try something. Now, in our quest to be different and unique and to think outside the box, this is what I wanna do. So this tank here, which is Turtle in Motion, Turtle has this great wedge here that I consider it's like probably its, you know, little feet or something, or flippers or whatever. And I always wanted to put a pop of color here. I thought about gluing something here around the backside that could grow right here, but I never could find the right product that would actually adhere because it's so rough on the backside. And this is what I've come up with. We'll take this and I'll take some thread and I'll thread it around, and we will make this Nana Golden our pop of color right here. Now the one that's gonna have trouble with is the middle one, because I don't really want to put thread all the way going down here. So I'm hoping that if I can get these top two in their place, it'll just kind of hang in there just because they're in place. So I'm not going to do any talking while I'm doing this because I'm going to concentrate. But that, okay, that's the plan. So like that looks, oh, and I said I wasn't going to talk. That's impossible for me. I was that child in school that constantly got in trouble for talking. Talks too much, talks too much, talks too much. Well, I'm a flight attendant. I get paid to talk now, so. So there. That one is gonna work really well. This one will, but really needs to maybe swap them. Okay. Maybe I should just put that one in place. Then I don't have to worry about that one. Let's do that. Let's put it in place. Let's get you guys in water while you're waiting. So you guys let me know what you think about that. I think it looks cool. It'll be way better when it fills in, and they're not tight. They're just kind of loose in there, but it gives you color up here where you don't expect it. So that's my takeaway from that. Let me take a break and we'll get back to it. Okay, it may seem like a minute to you, but it's been 24 hours for me. I had an order of plants that was supposed to come in yesterday while we were doing the filming for the planting that we got so far. And you'll notice I already put the tanks now up on their shelf. So the box is here, and I thought it would be fun to unwrap it, just like if you were in your home or in your studio or wherever, and you're unwrapping your plants, and let's see what kind of condition they're in. So let me get the camera situated right on it, and we'll take it from there. And by the way, I broke 2 lamps yesterday, 2 of my lights that I use for filming, so you may see some dark spots. And so I apologize for that. Okay, now here we go. We'll try not to trip on my tripod here. And there is something that I noticed looking at Turtle in Motion, because it's full of water. The back film that's on it, when I looked online to see what I had purchased again, it said on there, frequently returned. I think I know why. The film makes my water look not clear. So I like the coloring of it and the design that's in it, but it kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't give you, I think, the trueness of the water quality. Let's see, it's taped. All right. Try to be really careful here. Okay. Okay. Don't want to cut into anything. Ah, good. Okay. Here we go. All right, so this order was from Aquarium Plants Factory. Honestly, the reason why I ordered this is they had exactly the 3 sets of plants I wanted. I didn't have to order from another vendor. So another Anubias here, and these I got buy 2, get 1 free. So you'll purchase these 2. Here's your free one. Same deal with this. This is the Boost. This is Leilina, and it was 2, get 1 free. So there's 2 in each one and a free one with it. And now this one was not buy 1, get 1, because I wish it had been. This is the Vallisnera Leopard. And I love this because it's got really cool coloring. And we are going to put this one between Turtle in Motion and Prayer Hands. And I believe I was going to put all of the boosts into the Bird on the Wire. And I think the Pinto was going to go into Prayer Hands, because Prayer Hands right now just has a little bit in it. So I wasn't being generous at all. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut the packaging and put these in water really quick. Leopard, not many places have it. And when they have it, they usually sell out of it. Now, I did search for my plants on the regular website that I always go to, which I go to like Boost and Dustin's. But I've done 2 orders through Plants Factory. And matter of fact, I think it was I think it was this Rosa in here in the bird on the wire that came from them. So you know when you get them in, you just remove the weight. I'm hoping I have enough so I could do at least, oh good, there's 4. That one's got, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's got 5 in it. Which I think is more than what the website said. I think it said, I'll check it, but I think it was 2 to 3. So we're getting more. This is 1, 2, 3, and this one's 4. So yeah, we got more. So what's good about that is, so 1, this grows fast too. 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4, 5, 6, it's just 1, 7, 8, so we got 9. That means I could do like 5 and 4. So that's really cool. On the Pinto, I was not sure yet, but I think on the Pinto, let's see. Now we can cut this up and make several, or you just kind of just do what I just did. You just kind of like pull them apart. That one right there wants to, but I don't, yeah. Because there should be 3. Yes, 3. Look at this coloring. I mean, I love that. It's really pretty. So this one's our free one. And you don't know it's, but when you're on their website, add items in your cart kind of like one at a time, because what they do a lot of times is there will be a special, but you won't know about it. Okay, there is a little one right there. Yeah, there we go. So when I put them in my cart, I always make sure I update the cart so that I can see if there's any buy one, get one. And it's usually, on most of the stuff, it's always, okay, now this one, they're pretty intact. I swear, this one could, I mean, you could pull that one. Just to be able to tease the rhizome apart. This small one wants to come off. That one came off. There's a piece of the rhizome that came off. Ah, here we go. There you go. And I spent exactly $100. And I got free shipping. Okay. These look really healthy. Okay, so there were 2. I think that's what the bunch is, 1 to 2. And I believe the potted ones can be 1 to 2. But to me, it's just easier. I mean, if you're just going to get the bunch, just get the bunch. It's the same thing. You're going to put it in your aquarium. You don't need these potted anyway. These don't even, because they don't grow in soil. These look gorgeous. The reason why I ordered 2 sets is that I really need it, especially on this one. Well, all of them, because they're going in one in more than one place, because we're trying to carry our theme. Okay, so let me do a quick count. Let's see how many we got, individuals. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Awesome. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, now let's reveal, make sure they're completely covered here. I want the roots to be safe. All right, let's reveal the plan. Really nice quality, really pleased with the order. All right, now let's back out. And let's look. Okay, first up. So as you can tell, it's been now 24 hours since we planted this one. And it is looking flawless. So we're happy about that. You can see the, you remember yesterday, if you were watching the video, if you've watched the video all the way through, because it's going to be one video, I was having trouble with my dwarf hair grass because it was like getting buried. I was having to bury it in there really, really deep. Look today. Today you can see I've got really, 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 really good coverage. Yes, that needs 5 reallys because it looks I was concerned yesterday that I wasn't going to have enough, and I have enough. And so I lost my cheat sheet. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the Rosa, which is the Alternanthera Rosa Nervig, the pink with the nice little veins in it. That is looking awesome today in both tanks because I put just enough water in. It's been growing, of course, in water, but where its leaves were not immersed in the water. So this one will go, for me, this one will go through a transformation because it'll be submerged now. The dwarf hairgrass, the same thing. We should expect a transformation there because it's been growing, being able to pull its oxygen straight out of the air. Now let's scoot over, just easier to bring the whole thing. I was able, not sure you can see it quite yet. Yes, I put two, you see right here, and so I put the two tiniest of the roses in there on this end, just because I forgot to tie these two ends together. I put some in here, and then I put two in here. Because remember, we're trying to be cohesive here. And the, what one was this called? Something green. Golden. This is the Anubias Barteri Golden. I have to say, I'm loving the coloration in that. I hope it's just not a fluke. I hope it stays like that. I hope it grows like that. I have, I think, 3 more of those, and I was going to put one, and I also put my white Nana Petite down there at the very foreground. And it's just kind of wedged in the wood. Remember, this one we put up with the thread. Oh yeah, of course you remember it. You just watched it minutes ago. For me, it was a whole day. So, okay, let me spin that around so it's not loose. This one I did Rosa. Back up a little bit. I did Rosa on both sides. Now, and I did it for a reason. Some of you are not going to get it. Pretend this is a circle. Pretend these tanks are in a circle, and it's a circle of life. The rose is on this end because it's on that end at the far tank. So I'm trying to build, like, if it was a perfect world, this would be a circle. It'd be a 360 tank instead of just 3 tanks lined up together. It would be a circle. So you got Rosa on this end, here, ties into there. Then, let's back up. You can't see that. Let's talk about it. Because I got to talk about something else. Same time. Okay, we have to really back up. So you guys get I want to make sure you're jiving with my ideas here. Oh, by the way, oh my gosh, I got some great, I looked at my comments last night. You guys are loving the videos. I am so loving the positive feedback. Thank you so much. Thank you for the likes. The comments mean the world to me. The community we're creating here on the channel is just amazing. And my subscribers, we're now up to 115, so you guys rock. You keep on going, because I would like to get this out there to the beginners that we really want to touch base with, because right now the algorithm's just not putting me out there with my target audience. The channel's too new. But okay, so here we go. That being said, I wanted to tie something together, and this is what I was going to talk to you guys about. All right, so you see this point here kind of goes like it's going up. And then we come here and we have a point here. So this plant here is like a spot on, is part of our on purpose. We're going to put one of these here. So it's going to be the same color here, jumping up, jumping down. We come down, we follow the same color theme. And then when we put our bird on a wire in the tank, I'm not going to put it in the tank now because I got to attach stuff to it, but it's going to be down here, remember. It's going to be on this end. That green is going to be here. So it's going to be green coming up, coming down, coming back right here. It may be the tail feathers. I think the tail feathers would be amazing on that. So yes, there is a method to my madness and my obsession and my OCD when it comes to my tank builds. So today what we have to do is I think I want to plant prayer hands first. So I want to get that one. I'm going to have to fill it up now. We do have water sprite. And I want to put water sprite in because I love the texture of the leaves. I was thinking that the leopard, the Vallisneria leopard, is going to go right here in the middle of these tanks. So since there was, 9 of them, we can do 5 and 4. So it'll create a visual to bring these two together, which means it's okay to just have a couple of here and a couple 4 there of the Rosa. Because Rosa is really not the glue between the tanks. It's really going to be the leopard. So let me piece out the leopard. I need to pull up on the website really, really quick to see how deep I have to plant it. I think it needs to go all the way to the bottom. But let me pull that up really, really quick, and we'll plant that. We'll get this rocked out. Okay, it says it's easy. You just take the stem, put it in the substrate. It's done. So let's do it. I want you guys to be able to see it. So how about we do that? Maybe that way you'll be able to. Let's zoom in. Oh, and you know something else? When I was planting all that dwarf hair grass, it messed up my curve in the tank. So I was kind of disappointed. I guess I should have expected it because I'm not putting a topper on this. I'm not putting gravel or sand on top of it. And the soil is round, so it does move around. So I guess I should have expected that, but that's a newbie mistake. Maybe that's why some people do use some type of topper for their soil. Let's see. 1, 2. It says leave room. So how about we don't just line it up? How about we kind of go this way? Oh. This is easier. It is easier without water in there. But we had to put water in this one because of the golden. Oops. What? Okay, it's hard to tell. Did I put one here? Oh, I did not put one in the middle. We must rectify that. There must be one in the middle. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, I need... Let's switch back again. All right, so we have a dilemma, a decision. You remember I left these gaps. And I'm wondering if the Pinto, I can just put them in the gap. I'm wondering. But to do that, we really need water. We need water in there then. So let me put some water in it. and then we'll keep planting. Okay, I just learned something. Apparently, my electrical is waterproof. This was sitting in the water, and it didn't go blink, 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 and sparks fly. So that's a good thing that I didn't know might possibly happen. But okay, so now we've got this one filled up, and I want to do okay, I've got two questions, two thoughts. The Anubias Pinto, which is what we just unpacked, I was thinking, let's go up a little, and let's see. This tank doesn't have the color. I was thinking here, in these crevices. Now, it may just float, but there's all kinds of little spots in there that could hold something. And I don't want to glue it. I'm just hoping it'll stay in there. And then for the very top, remember, we want to put the golden, which matches the tank next to it. So let me pull out the golden first. Let me get my step ladder. And see if we have room. Okay, not gonna touch it. Okay, it's cool. So we go here, we cascade over to this one. Now let's look at the Pintos. I don't know why they say glue these. Float around like crazy. Okay, now that gives me 3 right there. Yeah, I want, oh, I do want one there. Yay! Oh no, you're bringing the other one up. Stop it. Let's just stay down in there. Here you go. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, come on. Get down in there. I got yours sitting on top. Oh, yes. Move. Oh, no! I didn't want that. Oh. Okay. I have like 4 little ones. I think I'm good. So I wanted to encircle the gap between there to give it color on that side. We still can plant, I think, the water sprite right in the middle and keep it short because it's the same coloring. which will be nice. It's kind of all consistent, and then you got this pop of pink. There's no real place to add these little ones in here. I do already have the white in there anyway. So I don't feel the need to move these into there, and I don't feel the need so far to put these over there. So these may be growing out, and I could put these in like a terrarium, or they could just grow out. So that one I'm going to set aside. And remember, I still have this twig that goes inside there. I kind of was thinking to I bought some Christmas moss. I was thinking about wrapping a very thin line of Christmas moss on this because it's got such a nice squiggly look, and turn it, because to me it looks like a snake. And I thought that would be cool inside. I don't think these roots will do anything, but you know what? We're going to turn them into our big container that we used yesterday. We'll see. Just throw them in there. Oh, I don't know if I have enough room. Oh, that opening is a lot smaller than I thought. All right. I think the most I can get in there is 3 if I want to keep them in this little, circle. Oh yes, that could be lovely. Wow, those look already cut. I'm not going to touch that. Okay, it does take both your hands. Oh, no. You're in there. You are in there. Don't you just love it when that works out? Okay, so the moral of this story is the more holes in your driftwood, the more places you can plant things without gluing them. Because when you glue, sometimes it gets messy, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now that we have, well, let's do a shot of this one front on so we can really see. Let's back up a little. Okay, so I need a pointer. I'm going to use my wet tools. All right. So the rosa here in the corner, this is the pinto. So we've rounded it all around through there, brought it up through there. This is golden, abuse, more of the rosa, leopard, transition, leopard. Let's come over. And when we transition, let's come down a little bit. We can see it. So 2 little rosas. Then we have the golden at the top here. We have white. And then we have a dwarf hairgrass, which is all through here. Now, we could put some water sprite in there, but it would get blocked. I mean, you could have it here, but I really want that to be my focal point because that's a pop of color that you don't expect it. It's not growing from the substrate. It's growing because we attached it to Turtle's backside. So I'm loving that. And the same thing with the white, Anubias white. It is just lodged into one of the crevices. I do have this crevice here that is open. And if we have something, we end up with something, we could put it there. So that is an option. Now, as we transition into bird on a wire, we've got our dwarf hairgrass here, and then we transition to Rosa. So we end with Rosa, we begin with Rosa on the other side. So I'm hoping you guys see the coordination between all three tanks and how they're kind of talking to each other. Now what we have to do, we have all this booze, and we need to play arts and crafts. Meaning, I want to take bird on a wire, okay, so here's bird on a wire. Let's back up. And we know we need the one, oh, do I want it as tail feathers or, let's see how tall that plant gets before I make my mind up here. Golden. Golden gets 3 to 5 inches tall. Okay, that could be tail feathers, 3 to 5. So when I'm talking about tail feathers, I'm saying, can we put the golden right here? We do have this section here. And then we have this stick here that's going to go up. Now, this is the point where it comes out of the water, where this lodges it. I think this is, from this point, is in the water. So we have these boosts that I wanted to tie along here, along this strand here. I'm not sure how I want that to look yet. So let me debate it a little bit, and then I'll pop you back on record again. Okay, so I cheated a little bit. I was in the Zen, sitting in the chair, and I just took my thread and first wound it all around the golden to the smaller limb behind it. And then as I had that, I had the boost, and you can see I just wrapped it all the way down. And as this grows in, this will be this nice darker green with the lighter green, and then all underneath it, under this whole section, is going to be the pink. And then we've got green back here at the end again. So the one thing I do need to do now is to go ahead, let me pan back and let you guys see all of them. And let's see how, I think this is good as I'm going to be able to get it. So now you can see, hopefully, what I was going for. If I had a couple of more goldens, because golden is my, remember golden up here is my, the Anubias golden is my jumping off point. So we have a little bit on this side. We have here, and remember this is prayer hands. This is the statue that I know everyone's seen. Let me flip this around so I can see what you're seeing. So the statue that's like this. Or it kind of looks like these could be two male walruses fighting each other. I mean, I kind of get that. So it could be, it's either or. But the golden is our jumping off point because we curve and we come up and we come up into this tank. Here we've got golden again. We come straight down. We're still following that same theme, green and white. We come into this tank and we have it right here. Now, I do have a couple more of these, but they're so tiny, I think they would get lost right there. And kind of, I might just want to leave this alone. But it does bring that same theme of the green going here and the green going here. And then it exits back up to this side where we're going to have houseplants growing out of each one of the tanks. So we've carried the Rosa here, and here, here, and then here. Dwarf hairgrass is all here, all the way up through here. This is the Vallisneria leopard. It's on both sides of this tank. We have a little bit of sprite, water sprite in that section. And then this is the pinto. The Pinto is an Anubias, but it kind of goes along with these as well in that same color family. So I try to keep it really simple, which is what we need when we're beginners, because we don't know what works best. And I tried to go with the hardiest plants, but not skimping on the fact that I want a variety of color. So the color I'm kind of going for is the palette is this lighter color here. The darkest plant, honestly, besides the boost on here on this side, and the reason why I chose the boost, it's because the backside of the leaves are much, much lighter. So I think it follows our theme of this whitish undercolor here, falls into this lighter color, lighter, lighter, lighter. So we're trying to keep that cohesion between all the tanks. But the Vallisneria leopard, it's still, even though it's a lighter, it has darkness in it as well. And so I'm hoping that under these grow lights, we'll be able to see the really pretty colors of that. And that's a really fast growing plant. The water sprite is a really fast growing plant. Everything else is a typical slow growing plant. So what I'm gonna do now is work on this here. I have some of my Christmas moss, and I think I'm gonna just put a tiny thread of it all along this. I think this would look really, really cool covered in Christmas moss. So let me work on that, see how far I get on it. And I'll check back in with you guys later. Okay, so this was tedious, and I forgot what direction I was going as far as which way I was wrapping the thread. And it's better if you use shorter strands of thread. I was trying to use like these really long ones. Oh, it just kept getting tangled. So if you're going to do something like this and wrap your moss around it, it's better to use shorter pieces of thread. And I had to go back in and because I got turned upside down. So this is what I ended up with. And I even put a little tiny red plant in its mouth. So at least we know he has a tongue. And let's put him in the tank. Now, I don't even have a net yet. And so I'm not going to clean this up at all. Which you probably would not even mind that yourself. Because I'm trying to show you guys realism here. This is what's really like when you do this. So here is another, let's go freestyle. Get the tripod out of the way. Get a closer look. I love how the rocks just have that nice little tumble feel. Now, so we transition from bird on a wire to now turtle in motion. I'm just loving that look. I'm just loving the look. And pray your hands. Now with its little stick. I swear, it just to me just looks like a snake. And see if the mouth looks, well, it's kind of messy. That's all I can say. It's kind of messy right now, but when it gets grown in, hopefully it'll look a lot better. It looks all kind of, straggly right now. Here's the end shot of what we've got. Oh, you can see right down in the very middle, that's where I planted the water sprite. And now I'm going to put a complete list of the plants we used. I'm going to put all the materials that is in here completely. and then I'll do a cost breakdown so you'll see if we were able to stay on budget or not. See if we can do a backup shot now so you can see the whole thing. The next thing I can work on is I need to put some containers at the very top so I can put my houseplants that I've already got rooted out. If they can start growing in the tanks. And then we're gonna let this set and just do its thing. And remember, the water's already treated. I've got the tabs under the substrate, the root tabs, and then the water's treated with liquid fertilizer. So we'll be able to now to see what our growth is. But I think I'm really, really pleased with it. I really am. I was really nervous because it's my first one. I'm disappointed that I lost my curve, especially in the middle tank from all the planting. I didn't realize that was going to happen. I thought it would be more structured. One thing I did want to point out is the rocks in here aren't random either. We do go from this section here, where we have these nice, big, large, smooth rocks. I had a rock to put here that made more the transition, but you go smooth, 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 pitted, and then in the far tank over here, then it's pitted running into the ones that have like little pieces of quartz in them. So the rocks were that way on purpose as well. I found that this, to me, looked a lot better. I did have a lot more of this type of rock, this orangey color, but I like the variety that's in the different colors because we start with like a purplish color there, and then we end with purple down here. So I tried to bring it all the way through, and then the pitted matches the pitted in this one. The smooth matches the smooth one in this one. There is one thing I want to point out, a flaw that you guys need to be aware of if it happens to you as well. It did to me because I was kind of messy. Is you see this highlight, the spot on this rock right there? That's what happens when you get super glue on a structure. It turns white. You can see it right under the nano white. There's like white little bubbles right there. It looks like bubbles. That's also super glue from whenever this is glued onto there. It's a teeny bit of white right here where I glued it onto this one. It doesn't look near as bad in here because you have this lighter rock and then you have white in the bark as well. So that's just an FYI. That does happen. I don't know what you would use to get the glue off, but it was already in the tank. It was already done. There wasn't really much more we could do. The only thing you might want to consider when you're setting yours up is if you want to put a gravel on top. Now, I want shrimp, so that's why I didn't put anything else on top. I didn't want sand because shrimp can destroy the sand, and the sand, everyone has to end up vacuuming out their sand as well. So I went with just using the substrate itself. I wanted to see how I like it. But I think when I do my next build, because I have another series in mind, it's going to be different, but another series, I was thinking about doing gravel as the top layer to go for a different, look, to change the entire scene of it. But let's play around with this. Let me work on my houseplants and get you guys the updates on the note section for the intro to the video so you can see exactly what we put in here and exactly what we've got the cost. Remember, I'm trying to go for $100. I know I've gone over, but one tank definitely is at the $100 mark, and that should be Turtle in Motion because it has the least expensive plants in it. But let me figure that all up and get the video produced, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.